And a final tool within the domain of pens and tactical pens is the self-defense keychain, or the so-called kubotan, named after the original sort of promoter of them. Tak Kubota was a martial arts master. Going back into to older styles, you'll see this type of a tool, yawari sticks and similar things being used. Very simple idea. It can be often made of wood. This one's made out of aircraft aluminum. It's probably the least aggressive of them all. Flat beveled edge, nice and simple. Again, it can be used in all the same ways. Spiking with that, hitting with the hammer fist is primary, and it even reinforces your fist if you want to use it for punching. We have an older, different model here that I carried for a long time. The difference being this is steel, a little heavier, and it has a slightly rounded conical end, so it's presumably a little bit more invasive when you strike. Not really a massive amount of difference whether I hit with the flat end or the spike end, to be honest. And then we have this one, which just looks a little bit nastier, but it's a scalloped grip so that it's better for retention. We basically have that same tip. There are models that have knives hidden inside, spikier ends and all of that stuff. Keep it simple. Spikier ends are going to rip through whatever you're carrying it in, whether it's your pocket, yourself, your backpack, your purse, right? So they tend to be not as effective as you think. Secondly, if it looks too aggressive, oftentimes it attracts attention. It's going to get confiscated anytime you're going through security, so be aware of that. Thirdly, it wants to be something that's comfortable in your hand. When you pick it up, it has to feel like it's a good weight, and it has to feel comfortable. That's all, right? So the ones with scallop grips, generally I don't tend to like. They never really fit my grip. They always seem to be made for someone else's hand. This one fit great. I carried this particular one for a long time. So very, very simple. But again, the thing I want to emphasize is that when you look at particularly self-defense keychain techniques, I've seen so many classes taught, particularly for women's self-defense, where they begin showing complex finger locks, wrist locks, arm locks, using it as a hook. And it's interesting, and absolutely, if I can catch your finger, I can use this, I can cause tremendous pain. But that is such a micro, fine motor skill, right? And there's this need for complexity in our brain where we see this and we somehow think, yeah, I get the hammer fist boxing so quickly, let's do something else. But again, I beseech you to ask why. Keep the tool simple, get something that's reliable, solid, hold it here. If your keys are on the end of it, either let them dangle and use it as a whip, or suppress them in the palm and squeeze them if you have enough. Keep it simple, keep it down to simple hammer fist boxing. This way, when we go to striking domains, if we start working hammer fist boxing, getting into elbows, using gouges, working on elliptical shots, everything just transforms. It goes back, feeds into that same system, and if I put this kubotan, this pen, or this tool in my hand, nothing changes. Don't suddenly think that it merits some degree of complexity. You're selling yourself short, and again, you're exceeding the utility of the weapon. This is a spike. It is an enhancer for your hammer fist. It is meant to hit nerve centers, hit the exposed areas, keep it simple, drive forward, use this to just multiply your damage and get out of there as fast as you can.